Hello, hello, good evening. This is Dr. Radiales from the Georgia office. I always like starting our chats by, uh, picking a subject or a case that was interesting. So this time around, I wanted to talk about the effects of emotions um, to the fertility treatments, okay, to the fertility journey. So first of all, for those of you that don't know me, again, I'm Dr. Radiales. I'm the Georgia doctor for CNY, and the office is actually located in the east side of Atlanta, so about 45 minutes from the downtown Atlanta. So going back to the subject, so emotions. What type of emotions could hinder your success for your fertility journey? A lot of times we have anger. A lot of times we have anxiety or depression. So, what does those emotions do to our body? And people think of emotions and they separate them from the physical, biological part of things, but they're actually all linked. For example, strong emotions like anger, anxiety, and sadness, depression, one depresses the immune system. And the immune system, everybody thinks of it as the one that handles outside invaders, but the immune system is also involved in homeostasis, meaning the natural equilibrium of the body, and also in healing. So, if your immune system is not working optimally, then one, you are more prone to autoimmune disorders. Two, you are more prone to, overall diseases. Three, you're more prone to cancer, and you're not going to be healing right. So those emotions actually depress the effect of the immune system, the functionality of the immune system. And if you get really outside of the box, then you talk about epigenetics and how emotions will change the biochemistry of your body and then switch on genes that are related to disease and turn off the genes that are related to wellness, health, and healing. So that's one of the effects. The other effect is that, especially the ones related to anxiety, your body deals with stress no matter how it's coming, whether the stress is chemical, meaning an outside source like a toxin or medication, whether it is a disease that's coming in that causes stress to the body, physical stress, people that have very strenuous, very crazy work hours, or internal stress, your reaction to the outside world. How do you handle life? Are you always in that fight or flight reaction? Or are you allowing that body to cool off, relax, and go to healing and maintenance? So if you're always on fight or fight, then that will trigger, your cortisol to be up, your inflammatory proteins to be up. It's going to really affect the functionality of the adrenal gland. And that gland is the one that deals with stress again. And then, but the adrenal gland balances the ovaries and the thyroid, okay, creates a little triangle. And it is responsible for the production of certain testosterones like the DHEA. It's mostly adrenal based. And if you are always in that high stress survival mode, then even there is something called progesterone sequestration, meaning surviving in the hierarchy of your body goes above reproduction. Reproduction and sex are actually considered as luxuries for the body. That's why somebody that's on really, really high stress, not only they tend to maybe have some challenges with making a baby, but also the libido goes down. So again, reproduction and fertility are considered bonuses, are considered luxuries for the body. Survival goes first. So if you're always on survival mode, you're going to burn out your natural building blocks, and then the stuff that would normally be sent to the ovary will be sent to the adrenal to make more cortisol, okay, for example. So it is very important as we handle our challenges in the fertility journey, since this is what we're discussing right now, um, to be able to deal with that level of stress. And there are many techniques out there. I've shared them in the past a few times. And then you have stuff like yoga, okay? And luckily we have Hope Yoga, and that's available for your use. Walk, light exercise. There is stuff in terms of reprogramming your subconscious. For example, one of my favorites is called Psyche, and it uses a series of exercises to kind of reprogram your subconscious. There's a lot of stuff. There's music therapy. So for those of you that have been exposed to that type of stuff, the 525 hertz type of underlying medicine that helps calm down and stimulates DNA healing. There's hypnosis. I have a great relationship with a hypnotherapist that specializes only in fertility. Her name is Lindsay Eastburn. I'm going to write her name down. And for hypno fertility, she's based in Denver, the Denver area, but she's available via Zoom. Also, all of these tools, all right, to help you, one, reprogram your subconscious so you can react differently, so you can think differently and you have better outcomes. The definition of insanity by Albert Einstein was to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. So we need to start rebirthing from the inside, okay? Yes, you can do the keto diet. Yes, you can do the omnitrope, do the priming, do the PRP, do the supplements, but you have to handle your inside world. I mean, there was a very, very famous guy that used to say the kingdom of heaven is within you. You have to work on that inside world so you can become part of the creation, okay? You are a co-creator. So handling those emotions and how you react to what comes towards you is as important as that omnitrope and that gonoleth and all of the stuff we do in the physical 3D reality. Alrighty. I hope that puts a seed for some food for thought. There's another guy that I really like to follow. His name is Joe Dispenza. I use him personally. And he has a program also on meditation and reprogram the subconscious, because sometimes there's stuff in there that needs to come out, in terms of, am I worthy to be a parent? Okay. Am I good enough? Do you have any issues of self-anger? All those things, we swallow those things, and it's really not conducive to, one, a healthy lifestyle, and two, to have a baby. Okay, so alrighty, let's see what you guys want to talk about tonight, since I put out that stuff. So Miss Palma here is sharing with her that she's had 2 failed transfers back to back, and she is emotionally exhausted. And that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes when we have these bumps in the road, we have to kind of stop and see, okay, what else can I do? Think outside the box. And yes, again, we can go through the medical, biological, physical aspect of things and tweak the medication, look at laparoscopy, hysteroscopy. Is there something else that needs to be addressed? We're dealing with chronic infections, okay? Chronic endometritis, it's a lot more common than what we know, like what normally is seen out there. So do you need to do an ovulatory cycle instead of a Medicaid cycle? Do you need to do an ERA to see why your transfers are failing? All of those things we need to take into consideration, but also do we need, what are we doing with our stress management? Okay. Do we need to see a therapist? Do we need to use some of the stuff that I'm discussing in terms of going back in that subconscious and tweaking a few things, some deep, rooted stuff that might need to come out so you can be ready to receive that miracle. Okay. All right. After fighting infertility for 6 years, 16 IUIs. Yes, Miss Melissa. You have infertility, post-traumatic stress disorder. Absolutely. This is exactly, I'm so glad you guys are coming out and sharing. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. It's kind of a vicious cycle. And what happens is that voice inside our head doesn't help us, okay? Because and unfortunately as women, we tend to do it even more than our male counterparts. But it's that, that kind of going down that slope, and then that feeds that negative voice. I can't do this, I'm not good enough, I'm angry at myself, I'm supposed to be able to do this. And sometimes, and a lot of times, everything is normal, no one can give you an answer. And sometimes we have to go back in and regroup and see, is there something within me that's blocking my blessing? Is there something else I can do? Maybe not so much in the medical realm, in the psychological, emotional, spiritual realm, that could clear the block so that baby can come through. Because if you have that urge in your heart to be a mom, there's a little, there's a little baby going around you, giving you that feeling that that you are the portal that it wants to come through. So I know that a lot of these lives, they talk about the medical part, what's next, the ERA, the laparoscopy, the hysteroscopy, the antibiotics, the blah blah blah. But we need to take into account the stuff that's non-physical, the stuff that is energy based, emotional. Alrighty. So if you're interested, Melissa, I can help you out with some of that stuff, and just message me privately and I can point you in a few directions. How do you get out of survival, fight or flight? With a lot of internal work. So like everything, it's kind of getting into a habit. Okay, you want to build a muscle, so you go and build it, right? You go to the gym, you challenge it, and so that's how you go in there and clear that stuff. You have to commit to a spiritual practice. I find personally meditation to be very helpful to me as a person. I have a very, very high strong life. I am, I have kids. I was a single mom until very recently. I work full time. I run a practice. I'm just like you guys, except that maybe my challenges are a little different. But it's like I've been through cancer. I'm a widow, and I've been through divorces, and I've been through even a bankruptcy. So I do a lot of this for myself, and I've seen improvement in terms of how I handle my stresses and my stuff. So I meditate every morning. I wake up 30 minutes before everybody else, and I just really focus on gratitude, really focus on love. I go in and, go within myself and say, is there something that's bothering me? Do I have a conflict in my life that's resurfacing or rehappening? Maybe I need to deal with this. What does that mean? Um, like I said, some people work really good with hypnotherapy, straight psychology, psychotherapy, traditional. I've been through like 100 different seminars of this stuff. So I like Psyche a lot. Like I said, Joe Dispenza and Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. I'm actually having the audiobook these days. Um, but a lot of self-hope, self-love, and a lot of self-forgiveness. Okay, a lot of self-forgiveness. Cut yourself some slack, and that takes some time, but just keep going at it. Like that drop, like the ocean hitting the rock and eventually breaks it loose. Okay. Yes, just keep trying different things until something clicks. That's what it is. I've been through stuff called Hoponopono, which is a Hawaiian um, philosophy slash religion thing, where you take ownership of everything that's around you and happening to you, but at the same time you release it to the universe, you release it to a higher self, so you can forgive, give thanks for healing, and then it's kind of a mantra thing that was very helpful at one point. And things do change as maybe this takes you here, and then you're grateful about what it did for you, and the next thing takes you here. But I think overall a lot of self-forgiveness and love is going to be really, really important. And there's nothing wrong with medications either. If you find yourself in a place that's a little too dark and you need like a little help, drugs in general are fantastic for causing immediate fast biochemical reactions in the body. If you think even your fertility journey, what are we doing? We're forcing your body to do something quick. We want it to hyperovulate. We give you these injections. And drugs are great short term. They're fantastic to have a result short term. So if you find yourself that you're having anxiety attacks, it's really bad. There's nothing to be ashamed of to say, right now, I need to take an antidepressant. I need something for my anxiety as I get myself out of the hole. Not because you're taking whatever you need to take to get you outside of the hole means that you're going to be on it forever. You need that short term help, that band aid to get you going. So, all right, let's see. Yes, this treatment is very emotional. It is very primitive. Um, the desire to become a parent, if you think about the biology of it all, it is a very, very, very deep, almost what's the word I'm looking for? It's part of human nature. It's a very, very strong instinct. That's the word I was looking for. It's a very strong instinct. It is exasperating nonstop. When that thing turns on, I mean, I know, I've been through it. So it's like in your head, like a rat, like a little, hamster on the wheel. It won't let you be. And it's because it's about survival of the species. Okay. So it's very ingrained, it's in the genes. It's crazy the effect when you can't get there. It is almost like an addiction. It's almost like a drug addict that can't get the fix, and then it's that level of deep biological suffering, and that makes this journey so hard. And that's why I'm bringing this up, because I don't think it's discussed enough. All right, you will find information on the best IVF protocols. You will find what this drug does versus that. Like I was saying about, you have failed transfer. We can talk about how to improve the protocol for the next time. But how about how to improve you? How about, the effects on those emotions on you and on your body, and then ultimately on what you're trying to accomplish? I mean, I have people lose their hair, right? So emotions have a very strong effect on your body. I'm sure some of you, just with the level of stress, next thing you know, you're like in the shower and the bowl of hair is in your hand. So emotions are very, very powerful. Emotions, energy in motion. So I think it's not discussed enough. And that's why I wanted to bring that up today. After my loss, I threw myself into 3 months of self care before I could get back to fertility. It helped my mindset right. a good month of self-care is sometimes necessary. This is so much. Absolutely. I can't emphasize enough. I've had patients. I actually had a patient, her baby right now, it's 2. Um, Very strong story. She had 3 failed IUIs, 4 failed IVF. Out of those IVFs, ended up with 2 ectopics, and there was nothing else for her to give, right? So when I met her, I could kind of feel that, that vibe coming from her. And I said, the next 3 months, you've done all this back to back to, she had dual retrievals, and I mean, the whole 9 years. The next 3 months will be about you and about nourishing your marriage. Because once you go into this fertility journey, it's all about making a baby. You forget how it was to make love. I mean, you got married because you love your partner, and then next thing you know, it's all about the baby business. So we started working on that. I told her, the first month we're actually even going to avoid pregnancy. The first month is about getting you, healthy, getting your diets right, getting you the right supplements. Second month, it was like just letrozole and time intercourse. We did PRP because she had some ovarian reserve. The third month, I told her, you're going to take a vacation. When was the last time you went on a vacation with your husband? Get drunk, have sex for the fun of it. and she did. And next thing you know, she got pregnant. After all that journey, the month that she just said, to hell with it, and she went on a vacation with her husband. And yes, she was healthier because she took some time for her. She got spontaneously pregnant after 3 failed IVF, 3 failed IUI, 4 failed IVFs. Very good. Awesome. Hi, Octavia. Love you. Okay. Thank you. I've been in for 15 years in trauma therapy, meditation, yoga weekly, trying to show myself. Yes. I mean, I cannot, just express it enough. I cannot express it enough. You have to trust a higher self. I get this question over and over again. It's like, why did my IVF fail? We did everything perfect. We got the ERA, we got the embryos tested. I had the laparoscopy, I had the drugs, I had the immune protocol. Because as good as the IVF and medicine has become, it's not perfect. As good as the IVF has gotten to, it's only across the nation 50% chance of success, no matter what you do. No matter if you have perfect embryos, ERA, everything is like perfect, because there is a divine intervention. There's something bigger out there. And when you surrender and give your dreams to that, it's a loving energy. It wants to give you what you want, but sometimes because of that junk in our heads, we block our own blessings. Because we don't love each other, you don't love yourself enough. Because, I mean, think about what is a baby. A baby is the material representation of love to people that love themselves and they want to be united by blood, because that's what it is. But if you don't love you, how can that come through to you? Okay, so it has to start in your heart. You love you. There's 2 relationships that are crucial for your existence: your relationship with you and your relationship with your higher self. Everything else is bonus. Everything else is circumstantial. Even that baby that you want so bad is not yours to keep. It's just borrowed, because eventually it has to fly and do its own thing, and you can't just hold it forever. It's just a temporary thing. So it has to start through you. Self-love. Okay, so what do I do? I do, yes. I do, what am I? I'm a woman. I'm a woman. I am a mother of 5 daughters. That in itself is an accomplishment. I have been married 3 times. I've been through actually 4 times. I've been through every ending to a marriage, and fourth has been the charm. I am a widow. My second husband died of cancer. Um, so, am I a reproductive endocrinologist by training, not by diploma? My background, my official background is I am an OBGYN. I've been an OBGYN for 20 years, focused on women's health, fertility, pelvic reconstruction for 12 of my 20 years of career. I joined CNY 3 years ago and kind of narrowed a little bit more, even though I still do GYN and holistic women's health. I became a naturopath, went back to school and got a doctorate degree in naturopathy, originally trying to keep my husband alive. And that kind of opened my mind quite a bit to all of these things that I'm sharing with you. Because when the shit hits the fan, people, when, like, for me, cancer hit home, it just puts everything in a very different perspective. And I know that some of you understand that because you've lost a baby, you had a miscarriage, and that kind of shakes every cell of your body to the core and makes you understand that there's something bigger. That mind body spirit connection is a lot more powerful and a lot more important than what we realize. So, I don't have official training in psychology. I do share with my patients what I've learned through life and additional training. Um, and I just enjoy empowering women. We're all in this together. Yes, I see a lady that's sharing her hair loss adventure. Yeah, I mean, think about the level of stress that you guys are under with this stuff and the drugs we give you. It's a miracle that you keep your sanity. I mean, I feel for you. Okay, I had first FET after two fresh failed transfers. Okay, the only one I had chemical was the first one, and 2 times an implant. All right. So Vanessa is sharing her journey, and she's done the works, including the ERA and all of the immune protocols. Do I have any recommendations? I do. So deviating a little bit from our subject tonight, we should look at what I was saying in terms of chronic endometritis. Um, Potentially silent endometriosis, so hysteroscopy, laparoscopy. Have you done an ovulatory transfer, meaning, we provoke ovulation, trigger, and then transfer, do a progesterone and transfer, but then um, allow that, your own progesterone production to occur. Um, what else? And then all the stuff that I'm talking about, I mean, acupuncture, fertility massage, subconscious reprogramming. There's a whole bunch of programs. Again, you can message me personally. Some of the stuff that I've mentioned through this channel tonight, um, just message me. What is your oldest patient that has had a baby with her own eggs? 46. I do have patients trying past that. I don't recall out of the top of my head them being successful. That doesn't mean that it can't happen, but that I remember right now, 46. Awesome. Okay. 43 and did 2 retrievals. Awesome. Yes. So I'll talk to you soon. Um, so, okay. Alrighty. So again, I'm Dr. V. V as victory. I will get a little crazy here. A patient told me this and I thought it was hilarious. So it's V as in victory and V as in vagina because we are claiming victory in the vagina. Um, anyway, just call the Monroe office. That's the Atlanta office. The other way of reaching is through the kind of the back line. You can call that number. You can message me. If you message me through Messenger, Maribel Verdiales, then I will forward to the staff and we can get you on the books. Okay. We have to be open, Nicole. And I had a realization. I love being a woman, but it has its challenges. And I remember with my first daughter, um, I thought, I got this down. My first daughter, it did take some time for me to get pregnant, so I can attest that stress and trying to get pregnant is not a good mix. But when she was coming, I wanted it to be perfect and da 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 da. Well, the birth plan was like, of course, it was like a curse. I ended up with a C-section because she didn't want to come out and her heart rate was all over the place. And then I couldn't breastfeed. She did not want to latch on. And I just felt so inadequate. I felt like defeated. It's like, oh my God, here I was, the OBGYN that knows the theory of this stuff. It's supposed to teach other people how to breastfeed. And my kid did not want to breastfeed. I went to support groups, La Leche League. That child would not latch on. I mean, it was like a very, very humbling experience, let me tell you. And I had to surrender and say, okay, I give up. She wins. So in her case, I ended up pumping and just giving her the bottle because that's what she wanted. The kid won. After 2 weeks of fighting with the baby, she won. And it made me realize my own life, my own journey as a woman, that back in the ancient cultures, um, women run the village. It literally took a village to raise a kid. And there was that camaraderie, as a young married woman, you would get advice from the older women. As a new mom, there were people that would come and say, let me help you with those challenges. What do you do with a colicky baby? What do you do with fertility challenges? What do you do with marriage challenges? We're supposed to stick together. We're supposed to support each other, celebrate our victories, and cry together when we're not as victorious. Okay. And I want to promote that. I really feel that we have to recapture that camaraderie, that sisterhood, that human love. Okay. This is a universe based on love. So yes, you have to get the garbage out. You have to share your journey because as you share, you heal. I know that when I was going through some really, really rough times in my life, especially, I'll use an example. When I was dealing with my second husband's cancer, and it was a rough, rough road. We were married 6 years. He was sick 4. I mean, that was rough. It was through that connection with my patients. It was through that sharing, okay, that not only I could help them, but they were helping me because when you share, you heal you too. So don't keep it in. Get it out. Own it. Own your life. Don't be ashamed of the life you had. Whatever it is your life and it brought you to where you are and it will make you stronger and it will make you, in this sense, a better parent. So all right. Yay, I'll tell you. My favorite China. All right. What is the best way to improve sperm as soon as possible? Get all the toxins out. So, and there's no smoking, no junk. CoQ10 for motility. Let's see what else. There's some supplements that can be used. I have my set of supplements that I put my boys on, and I do testicular PRP. Okay. All right. Well, very good. I'm very glad that you guys jump on board tonight. And for those of you that will be seeing the video later, may you all be very blessed. And I will be doing next Wednesday in Spanish. I do one in Spanish, one in English every Wednesday at 8 p.m. All right. And claim your victory. Declare it is yours. Okay. Bye bye.